Okay, I started when I was 4 years. Next door, there was a dance class going on, U.S. Krishna Rao, and we would come home, and I was a very naughty girl. And Revati would always follow me, trying to do mischievous things along with me. So just to get rid of that, my aunt said, "Okay, let's put her in the class," and she put me in that class. I was 4 years, and she was only three, less than three or something, and she was enamored by me. And every time we would do the adus or something like that, he had a stick. If we didn't sit down, he would throw the stick. Oh my God. And I would jump up, and I would never, only the other girls would get it. And then finally, Revati joined, and we started. And we've been together just like sisters. Like I said, we married two brothers too. So later on, we went and started performing with U.S. Krishna Rao. Then got married in 74. Both of us came immediately. I mean, at that time, we would get the green card right away.
Welcome to another episode of Artfelt Conversations. Today, I am joined with Srimati Shyla Ganesan, founder and director of NAS, to co host this episode.
Thank you, Mrutula. I'm very happy to be in conversation with you and, of course, our dear Kalashri Asha Gopal auntie, who needs no introduction to the field of arts in the Valley, US, and across the globe. Namaskaram, auntie.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Auntie, for sparing your valuable time this evening with us. We are very excited to have this conversation with you.
I'm excited too.
I think this is a very rare opportunity, and I hope a lot of people get to see the other side of Asha auntie. Okay, so Arthi School of Dance was established in 1981,
Right.
and it is successfully established for more than 4 decades.
Yes.
And it spans across Phoenix, Tucson, and even Las Vegas. So, Auntie, can you please walk us through the success story of Arthi School of Dance, the ups and downs, the joys, and
Okay.
everything?
Okay. Actually, I came to North America in 74 to Toronto, and I just started a small classes there with few students, and then moved to Chicago. And then there, I was there for 2 years. But actually, my Arti school was really established in Phoenix. But so though I taught in Chicago and Toronto, but this is where in 81 March we established. And it was very difficult to get students because nobody knew who I was, what I will do, and nobody in this state knew what Bharatnatyam was, the classical dance, how I would teach them. So I had to literally beg and get some students. At least I got some 5 students at that time. It was not easy. Right now, it's very easy to get students. But in those days, I struggled a lot for 10 years. And then I
And
got,
at that time, you were the only
I was the
Bharatanatyam, right?
only
It was.
Bharatanatyam.
Ah.
And it was only 5 students. And then I had to teach them something and try and put them on stage at the association so that people will know what I'm doing. And then I would get students. But still, people were skeptical, and there were not that many people who'd come forward. But finally, I did get a few students, yes. But it took me 10 years, really struggle to bring up the school to a level. And the first performance was for a Kannada song, I think. We did Govardhana Giridhara, just a little bit like a semi classical. And then that's how it started.
How was it teaching kids at that time when you came
Well,
to a state where no one quite knew about
you know,
Bharatanatyam and everything?
yeah, they were really respectful for the art form, and they would come to the class and learn it and go home and practice. I mean, those days were really different from now, because if you tell them to practice, no, I don't have any time. I have a lot of homework. I don't want to do this. But those days were different. Yeah, they would practice and come. I really had a good time with those students, and they're all married and settled down.
Very nice. And did you take it in this house that we
No,
are, or it was in a different place?
we have moved quite a bit. We were in North Phoenix near 19th Avenue, and then I moved to Scottsdale. We had a big room there. We used to perform. I mean, practice there, and then we moved here. Yeah, it's been
That's quite a journey,
yeah.
I think.
What are some of your treasured moments when you were growing up and you were learning under your gurus? We would love to hear that.
Yeah, under my first guru was U.S. Krishna Rao, Chandrabhaga Devi, and then we had such a lovely time with him, and though we were two sisters, he would take us everywhere around the Karnataka area to perform, and we have performed with him. I have pictures of him with us performing, and then after that, later on, our parents thought we should get some extensive training, and that's how we brought in Pandanallur Muthaiya Pillai, Tanjavur Kittappa Pillai to Bangalore, and we started learning, and that's when I did my Arangetram. There were very few people, and it was in a Theosophical Society 1962. Only critics were there,
In
art
Bangalore.
in Bangalore. And we used to go, we have been to Tanjavur to do, as a Gurukulam there, and stayed there and had that experience. It was amazing, Yeah.
Do you remember any memories in specific? Maybe while you're performing, your guru giving you comments on something, or
Yeah, he would always say, நீங்க கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் சரியா பண்ணலாமா இருந்தது, இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் உட்காரலாமா, உங்க அங்க சுத்தம் இன்னும் பண்ணணும் பண்ணணும். He would always say that you have lot more to learn. He would never say you've done very well. Even my aunt and my cousin who brought me up, and she would always say, everybody would come and say, oh, you have done a very good job, you did very well. She would always say, no, there's a little more improvement for it. And that really makes you, uh, do better and do good. Yeah.
So you learned under Professor Krishna Rao, Pandanallur Muthaiya Pillai sir, and Tanjavur Kittappa Pillai sir. When you were moving from, not say moving, but when you had changed teachers, now we talk about banis and how, there are the do's and don'ts and everything. Did that even become an issue for you and your sister, Revati Akka,
No,
at all?
no, not at all. We just moved. Of course, our first guru never liked it that we moved away because we were on the top. We were his top students and we left, and he was a little disappointed. Yeah. So, so when we moved, but what to do? We had to continue. And then at a certain point, our parents asked us whether we really liked to do this, because in those days, all our relatives were talking about these girls are into dance, they are not even getting married. You know how it was in those days. But they were really, understanding, and we went ahead and did, started learning under them, and yeah, started performing everywhere. From 65 onwards, we started performing.
Wow. So, what was a typical day like for you and your sister? For when you're going to class, like, or how did you juggle work? I mean, school as well as dance
Yeah, that's
classes.
what.
How was it?
Early morning, 6 o'clock, we would have our practice, 6 to 8, 2 hours, have a shower, get breakfast, walk to school, come back, and then probably play around outside, because outside it was nice, come back, do our homework, and then practice. So it was like that. I mean, we really had a lot of practice, 2 hours, 3 hours. And at times we used to go to Sudarani, Raghupati's house, to practice there. So all three of us would practice together. Sudarani, right?
Right.
Srimati's,
Yes.
yeah. So we all would do it together. Yeah.
Wow. And most of your learnings, was it in Bangalore and Chennai?
Only Bangalore.
Only in Bangalore.
And the thing about these gurus is they never danced, right?
Right.
They would
Okay.
sit and show us in the hand how to do it. And that's how we had to grasp. So here nowadays, people are so, it's easy, you show them, but still they can't grasp it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just had, so it was every day you had classes.
Every day.
And will you be learning a new item every day, or
No,
would
he
it
would
just
make us
be
do all the items over and over again, and then teachers knew. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because we had to go, because the memory, we didn't have any videos, nothing. So it's all, and we have written, we have to write. So I have diaries from 1959. I have there all my dances written. So if you look through that one, through the diary, and I see the dances, I can pick it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you didn't have any commercial audio
No,
recording, nothing and all
nothing,
the stuff. So
nothing.
when you had to perform, you had to perform with live
Yeah, live
musicians,
music.
right?
Yes, yeah. And we have to have the memory to remember all the dances.
And then,
Yeah,
so with the way that you learned from your gurus and now you've become a guru, how has that process changed? Because
it has changed a lot.
the way that they would have passed down, certain
Yeah,
things
yeah.
must be completely different now on how you are passing
I'm
down the
I'm
same
trying to pass
information.
the same
Yeah, I
same
mean,
thing.
same
Yeah,
information, but I'm assuming it'll be in a different way, right? The
yeah,
method. So,
yeah.
what's the difference in the
Okay,
method?
first 20 years, it was fine, because all these girls would listen to me, would make sure they practice, and they had the respect for the art, for me, and all that. But later on, when this technology came in, a lot of this video recording and all that, they wouldn't show me the product. They would say, "Oh, I'll go home and practice and come." But that's how it started off. But I wanted to see the product if they got it right, because if they do something wrong, it's very difficult to
Yep, unlearn it.
unlearn it. So it's still there, but I try my best to give the discipline
Mhm.
and all that. But a lot of people think that I'm a little, probably very strict. But that's how I learned from
Right,
my guru, and I would like to, because the end product will be good.
right. That's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
So, Asha auntie, how do you manage so many roles? Daughter, now you have granddaughters, dance teacher. You take so many roles, and at one point, I'm sure you had to juggle between so many different things.
Yeah.
1 hour will be one, another hour you'll be another role. So how did that? How
Yeah.
did you do that?
Well, at times I had taken a part-time job as an accountant, and I used to work from morning till 2 o'clock, come back, do some cooking, and then my husband, he supported me, and he would take care of a lot of things. So, and also my mother-in-law was with me, so they all helped me a lot. It's not just but in the afternoon my classes would start at 4 till about 7 o'clock, and then the kids homework and all that, and yeah, that's how it went. uh,
So it wasn't. It didn't. How do you say? You were not like faced by this. You just took it like, okay,
yeah,
this is what life is, and
yeah,
all
you're
that
right.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So talking about it, so you were an accountant. So, Auntie, what is your degree in? I'm very sure that education have also played an important part, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean,
mathematics and psychology, major maths.
Wow.
Yeah, and that has helped in Bharatnatyam.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
in choreography.
Kanak and everything.
And that I was the first one to get the Government of India scholarship
Hmm.
from Delhi.
Okay.
So one of the rules they put in there is you have to, completely devote yourself to dance and music, no academic studies.
Okay.
So my parents didn't like it.
Okay.
My aunt didn't like it. So what I did was I did Karnataka University external studies. That's how I got my BA degree. Yeah.
So you were also just like how we are all, managing, or any of the kids managing
Yeah.
work and school
Yeah.
work and dance. That's how you did it, but
Yeah.
you make it sound like as though, okay, this is what was given and this is what I
Yeah.
need to do.
Can you give some advice to like us? As in, I've been learning for a long time. Now I'm starting to teach now too. So like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a lot of advice you can give. Something for us to also.
Yeah, I mean, what you're doing is probably you should keep up the tradition, though. Not go away, make it diluted or anything like that. Keep that tradition, because that is coming back now. The classical thing is coming back, and it has so much depth, so much of core elements in it. So that's what I would say. Just make sure. I know people will say, "Oh, I don't want to see classical," but this is what you are being taught, so you should carry on with that and what you have learned from your guru. Yeah.
And what do you think the importance of learning classical music and classical dance and everything? Do you believe, because there are some people who believe in the notion that okay, when you learn classical dance, you should also learn
Learn
classical
music,
music, and
yes.
vice versa. What are your thoughts about that,
You
Auntie?
have to learn some music
Mm.
to get some knowledge of music for your dance. You have to, because அந்த தாளம் எல்லாம் இருக்கும்,
Mm.
all the beats and தாளம் and all that, you have to know. Yeah. And
So there are many facets of Bharatanatyam.
mm.
What is it about Bharatanatyam that just makes you go, aha, it's like, yes, this is why I want to dance my
Because
way.
yeah, because there's so much into it. Like we have facial expression, hand gestures, and very intricate footwork is there. And then you narrate a story very well. I mean, people can understand even if they don't know the mythology or anything, but they can relate to the story, what's happening. Yeah. So I think that is very I feel that Bharatnatyam, that's what it is. Yeah.
So between
You can sit and watch for 2 hours.
so
Not
Abhinaya, Nritta, what would be which one would you your favorite? Which one would you?
mine. I love my Nritta because Muthaya Pillai used to choreograph very intricate தீர்மானம்ஸ். இதுக்கு நிறைய மார்க்கம் இருக்கு. I have about quite a few tilanas. I have about 130 tilanas with me. All I have kept it in. And a lot of my friends from India, dancer friends, would come and ask me, do you have this tilana? Can I take it? I said, sure, go ahead. Because I have that repertoire of so many varnams and tilanas, lot of padams, yeah.
Do you have a favorite padam, a favorite tilana?
There are lots of them.
Lots.
Not one. There's so many of them. Yeah.
So, in that sense, right, what do you think is the relevance of Bharatanatyam in this day and age? Because that's a question that a lot of my students or even the parents are like, okay, so we are learning Bharatanatyam. My kid is learning Bharatanatyam. Okay, I'll put it in, their high school, college apps and everything. Okay, after that, what it is. So, from your experience, your vast experience, what is the relevance of Bharatanatyam
I
in
mean,
this day and age?
afterwards.
Yeah,
Afterwards. Yeah.
generally, yeah.
Generally, I think if they are interested, I mean, I would say one thing is, you learn an art form, you carry it on, because later on, I know you might be busy with your studies and things like that. But then, later on, you will see that when you're stressed or anything, just a little bit of music and dance, or anything for that matter, painting or artwork or anything like that, will help you, into, yeah, de-stress. So I feel that, there are a lot of students, of course, there's some of them who just want that little plaque after the Arangetram and quit. But there are a lot of other students who have taken it up well, and I think till some of them have done the Arangetrams, most of them around 10th grade. So 2 years they stay with me, and I make them stay because of the magic in movement. I tell them the production is there, you can do in the production, so they still stay back till they go to college. But some of them, they have gone to college and they have got into classical groups, teams. Now Bollywood is gone. Lots of them are gone in most of the colleges. The classical team has come up.
Right.
Yeah. So they are getting into that. Yeah.
So when these classical teams, right, when they do, when they talk about fusion and everything, what are your thoughts about classical dance and fusion and mixing any Indian classical dance form with the fusion music? What are your thoughts, Auntie?
Yeah, it's in sometimes it's good, because if they're presenting, I mean, for a competition or something like, they use a lot of classical adavus. They use it, but they have the fusion music. So that's what it's different. They won't use the classical dance music actually. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, and as long as it looks nice,
Nice. Yeah.
you're fine
I'm
with
fine as long as, yeah, it's a lot of semi-classical movements and classical. Yeah, it's fine. And
And Aarti, I'm very sure it's a combination of Asha,
Asha and Revati.
Revati
Yes.
together in
Very
it.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Asha and Revati. Yeah.
Asha auntie, what is your approach to teaching Abhinaya?
Oh, how I teach it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's another. It's quite difficult. I try to, yeah. It's I first tell them the story, And of course, we go through the Navarasas. The, very commonly these girls know how to do Hasya, Raudra, that's it. There's no compassion, no love, it doesn't come at all. These two are the main, Hasya and Raudra. So I go over it over and over. That's why we have this, every year we have the summer camp where we do this. And then they learn the Abhinaya, just small Abhinaya portions and all that. That's how we go through, yeah.
So, in this day and age where camps and extracurricular activities and are becoming popular, how have you, as a teacher, kept on with this? When they have long breaks during summer and
Yeah.
everything, what have you implemented so that they still keep in touch with the art form of
Yeah.
Bharatanatyam?
One thing is we do summer camps. I invite teachers from India. The other one is a Gurukulam I started long time ago, just like we went to Tanjore for the Gurukulam and all that. So I wanted to keep it up, where all the girls during that year, Arangetram girls, come and stay with me for 5 days.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they are with me. Morning we have breakfast, then start at 9 o'clock. 9 to 1 they have to dance. 1 to 2 lunch, then 3 to 5.
Wow.
Then evening they can have their fun, but they stay with me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Wow.
Sounds so much
There are
fun.
days when sometimes there are 10 girls, and then also some girls, previously they said, "Auntie, can we come and stay with you? Can we come for the Gurukulam?" I said, "Go ahead, come. More the merrier." So they all come.
I have a question on planning for productions. So, your first production, I would like to know how your thought process was, and now when you're doing a production now, how that has changed, or what, putting all this
What
stuff
was
into
my
it.
first production? I don't know. I don't, hmm.
Maybe your first because when you had to
First
do an
arang.
when you had to do a arangetram, I mean, you were the
Yeah.
first Bharatanatyam teacher. You are the first Bharatanatyam
Yeah.
teacher here.
Uh-huh.
It must have been the first kid in Phoenix or in
Yeah,
Arizona
who
who's
have done
actually
it.
doing
Yeah, it was a very
So-
simple thing, and it was not elaborate like this. Like food and all that. It wasn't there. It was a very simple. Horizon High School, I think she did. Sunita Paul was my first student who did. She's a Bengali. Very pretty and very nicely she did. And it was a simple margam, 7 items. And I think we had local musicians from LA and all those places. We did, yeah.
So, what would you think is the difference from the first Arangetram to your latest Arangetram? Dance-wise as well.
Dance-wise, they've all, I mean, they have kept up, it's no problem. But, I have changed too in teaching, because I teach according to the student, what her ability is. I can't do what I did for somebody else I mean, like Varanams and all that, there are girls who have done really elaborate Varanam, but there are girls who do just, simple Varanams with three Tirmanams, avladhan. So that kind of thing. I've also changed according to the students. It's not. Um, Priya was my second Arangetram student. She's the only one, I think she's doing her school in Austin, Texas, and she does exactly how I teach, how I do my annual shows. She has done the same thing, Yeah. And I'm really, happy for that. She's kept it up so well.
Once again, thank you, Asha Auntie, for sharing your valuable time with us this evening. And we're so happy to have conversed with you today. And on behalf of all the dance rasikas, teachers, parents, and students across the valley, we would like to congratulate you on being the first artist
Oh my
to be
God.
conferred the prestigious Nritya Kala Sadhika Award by the Fine Arts Association of Arizona during the Natya Conference. And this award is for your significant contributions to the arts in and around the valley, in the US, and also across the globe.
Thank you so much for it. I mean, I'm really honored. And thanks for coming and doing this. Yeah.
I had fun.
Definitely. Yes, Auntie. And we pray that you get many, many more such accolades. We're so proud to have you in Arizona. You're ours. You're our treasure. And we're very proud and humbled to be here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.